Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here, and today I kind of want to talk about Gator Rush, the first expansion for the Crew 2 now. And not so much Gator Rush, but more of the fact, the should we complain about free content? Now, this is quite a question, because I can see both ends of the coin. When it comes to this, I can see why you complain, and it's free, especially for the Crew 2. It's basically free content, a game that desperately needs free content. I mean, that's just the end of the line. It needs more content, and Gator Rush is giving us content now. Where the other side of the coin is, but it's not really what anyone really wants right now. I mean, you go up to 10 people in the crew. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably tell you, oh, I want more street races, or I want more hypercar races, or I want more, like, races that take place on the road, or, like, rally race. Like, you'll get an answer, like, I want more races with cars, okay? Any form of motor vehicle, okay? I mean, like, car vehicle, not planes, boats. Now, I like the planes and boats, personally. But with the crew, I feel like with the crew, I'm not going on the crew to do the planes and the boats 9 times out of 10. Like, I'll do a couple plane or boat races as I'm playing the crew, but I'm going on the crew with the intention of driving around in a car, okay? And, like, as much as Ivory Tower kind of wants to make this whole, like, atmosphere where it's not just about cars and it's planes, boats, and everything, that's what most players on the crew are gonna go on the Crew 2 for. I mean, 9 times out of 10 now, thanks to the fact that there's pretty much no endgame, 9 times out of 10 people are going on the Crew 2 just to get on and grind the accident, which is literally what I've been doing. I've probably logged maybe like 10 hours past couple days on the Crew 2, but that's literally just been me on my computer here. My one screen, I have the accident, I'm grinding, and the accident is just like a straight road, really, so you really don't have to think about it too much. And on my other screen, I have The Wire, because I'm binge watching The Wire right now. By the way, The Wire is such a good fucking show. And that's literally what I've been doing, and like, and surprisingly, I can focus on The Wire more than I can focus on the game. And at the end of, like, watching 3 episodes of The Wire, which are like an hour each, I ranked up like 30 times. So, you know, like, that's the only reason I go on the Crew 2. That's the only reason a lot of people go on the Crew 2 right now, is just to grind the accident. But going back on track, the game desperately needs content, and Gator Rush is giving us content. Now, it's hovercraft races. It's not really what we've been asking for. However, I do want to say that Ivory Tower, their priorities thus far are very, 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 they're out of whack, if you know what I mean. I mean, they're focusing on Gator Rush failure before they actually start focusing on, you know, PvP, police, more street racing, more like daily challenges, like landmarks, stuff that people have been crying for, especially PvP. But instead we're getting hovercrafts. And the thing is, Gator Rush was planned from the very beginning as the first expansion. I mean, when they first announced the season pass, it pretty much seemed like they already had Gator Rush planned. They took it out of the game just so they could put it back in. At least that's how I feel. And then they have PvP coming in December. They planned that from the beginning, and there was really no way we were going to change that, despite that's what they should have done. Ivory should have switched focus, put PvP come out in December, and then Gator Rush in December. Because, first off, Gator Rush releases 2 days before Forza Horizon 4. And the fact that this Gator Rush only has 30 events, with the new rarity level and everything, and blah, 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 ace, whatever, I don't care about that. There's 30 new events between hovercraft, some touring car races, and some hypercar races. Hypercar races and touring car races I'm excited for. Gator Rush, really not so much. There's only like 10 Gator Rush missions, which take maybe like 10 minutes a pop at most. So you're gonna maybe like a couple hours of game time. 2 days later, none of us are really gonna be on the Crew 2. We're gonna be on Forza Horizon 4, you know? So the release timing for Gator Rush is, first off, incorrect. Like, it should be out a lot earlier, or not anywhere near the release date of Forza Horizon 4. Secondly, it shouldn't be coming out this early. It should be coming out in December. PvP should be coming out here. They should have switched priorities. So here I am complaining about free content, okay? Free content. It's free, but at the same time, it's not really what the majority of the community wants. Now, I know that there's people out there who are excited for, like, the hovercrafts and everything, and that's fine, but you can't deny that most of the community doesn't really care too much about this. This isn't really bringing people back into the game long term, and that's what Ivory Tower needs to look at. They need to look at what would bring the community back long term. PvP would be an answer to that. And they can look into other things that people really liked from the Crew 1, like landmarks, like the crate runs from calling on units. That kept me in game for a long time, because every day it was a new different race. And obviously it was kept getting recycled, but still, it was a new event, like, every day. Events that, like, switch, new content every day. Calling on units was still new content every day for a good amount of time before they started recycling the races, obviously. But they need to start looking at stuff that will bring players in long term, if you know what I mean. And Gator Rush, unless it has a PvP mode bundled with it, it's not going to keep people very long. Because 2 days after that, Forza Horizon 4 comes out. And I doubt I'll really be playing the Crew, except to get the Icon 600 and by grinding the accident. I really don't think I'll be on the Crew 2 till December, really. I mean, I'm going to obviously come back because I'm a huge fan of the Crew 1. And I want the Crew 2 to succeed, but if they need to get the priorities straight. And honestly, I feel that after Gator Rush and after PvP, I have a feeling Ivory Tower have their priorities more in the right place, because I have a feeling that they kind of locked themselves in the Gator Rush. They kind of locked themselves in and were like, oh shit, we should have done PvP first. Too late for that, you know. Which at that point I could kind of understand. You're kind of locked in, but at the same time, they should really have thought it out before then, and prioritize PvP over Gator Rush, failure. I have a feeling when we ring in the new year 2019, I have a feeling their priorities will be in the right place. But then that year, we're also gonna have Need for Speed, a new Need for Speed, probably Need for Speed 2019. So who knows at that point? I have a feeling they're gonna have to step up, really. And I have a feeling, actually, that the Crew's gonna lean towards more an illegal side of stuff, like illegal expansions, the closer we get to Need for Speed. Because, I don't know, thinking about it now, Horizon is the only other real arcade racing game coming out this year, and the Crew's trying to emulate Horizon. And we kind of saw that with the Crew, obviously, at first emulating Need for Speed, and then what's it called? Wild Run, basically emulating Horizon in a way with the festival and everything, and then going back to Calling on Units, emulating Need for Speed. Now obviously Calling on Units came out 2016, an off year for Need for Speed, and Wild Run came out an off year for the Crew for Horizon. But I still believe that this year, I have a feeling they might switch it up each year, kind of like with the expansions, with what other racing games are bringing to the table, which I can get behind, especially if it's an illegal aspect, because the game, in my opinion, needs cops. It needs illegal street racing, because the street racing in this game just blew. But I've talked about that how many times, so I'm not really going to talk about it here. Back to the main question, because I've kind of not really answered it. Is it okay to complain about free content? And especially with the Crew, in the Crew's case, I believe it is. Like, if we aren't complaining, then Ivory's just going to assume that everything they throw at us is good, you know? Like, for example, if Gator Rush turns out to be very lackluster, which I believe it will, and we don't complain about it, they're going to believe, okay, that was enough content. And not, like, out of mouse. They'll believe, okay, that was enough content to please our players. Like, let's put in more content. Like similar to that. But if we don't complain and say, hey, this isn't what we really want, we kind of want more street races, some more emphasis on street racing, police, PvP, like that type of stuff. If we talk about that more, then, and like say, like complaining like Gator Rush, not really what we want, then I have a feeling that we're gonna get more what we want, if you know what I mean. If we're complaining pretty much about what we're getting now, and the state of the Crew right now, it's in its complaint state, as I like to call it, how similar to the Crew 1 at launch, where you make all your complaints now, so hopefully in the future the game is better. Now, the game, in my opinion, should have launched with all the shit from the Crew 1, but more, instead of cutting out like half the fucking game, but that's just me. So what are your thoughts on Gator Rush? I'll just quick go through mine because I didn't really say them. I think it's going to be very lackluster. It's not what we want. The hypercar races, the new hypercar races and toy car races, I'm excited for those. I just kind of wish they had street races as well. Some new street races flung into the mix as well. Other than that, though, I'm not really too excited. New rarity level, okay. Legendary parts, okay. Purple parts going to be useless come September, but... And then the Ace mode can provide a new challenge for a bunch of other races, but at the same time, I'd rather have new races instead of replaying the races I've been playing since beta. You know, like the Accident, Strip South, Motor Trend Race in New York. Like, there's so many, like, they could add so many new challenges, new events, like with new roads and shit. But they just keep on insisting that we redo all the other things, and that's a problem with the crew. But yeah, that's going to be all for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What are your thoughts on Gator Rush? And what are your thoughts on complaining about free stuff? Be sure to list them in the comments below. This is much more of a ramble vlog today. It's about maybe 9:30 in the morning here, so I just kind of wanted to talk a good amount, if you know what I mean. But that's going to be all for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.